And now, the road to WrestleMania continues. WWE presents the Elimination Chamber.
The pods are locked. The clock is set.
Hardened steel and bulletproof plexiglass house six hungry competitors looking for a career-changing victory in the Elimination Chamber.
Before we get into this Elimination Chamber preview and predictions video, this past week I did want to upload a Raw and SmackDown review. Excuse me, but unfortunately this past Monday, my cat that I've had since 2004 passed away. And I know to some people, you know, maybe an animal passing isn't that big of a deal, but that cat, man, like animals just, man, they just become a part of your family, and when you lose one, it's not easy to handle sometimes, you know. It was pretty sad, and I wasn't really feeling up to making a video for Raw and SmackDown this week, but I will be continuing that starting this Monday and even starting actually tomorrow with the Elimination Chamber. I'll most likely be reviewing that pay-per-view either right after or early the next day. I haven't decided yet, but that's pretty much why I didn't upload that much this week. It was just a little rough to go through, but life goes on, man, and you know, you just kind of learn to live with the heartache and the pain of, you know, whether you lose a family member or an animal, or to me, you know, an animal that was a family member. So, moving on from that, let's get into this preview and predictions video. Actually, before I even get into it again, this fucking game, man, this WWE 2K19 bullshit. I went out of my way to make an arena because I like, you know, creating the arenas in the game. I did one for the Royal Rumble. I did one for Evolution. I'll probably do one for every pay-per-view from here on out. I already have WrestleMania 1 done. I just might make a few tweaks on it before I get there, but I don't have to worry about that. WrestleMania is not for a while. But this guy, so I created this damn arena, and you'll see it in the opening, you know, with the pyro and everything, but when you get into the actual match, for some reason, because you choose an Elimination Chamber match, the game has to default to the shitty, you know, standard generic Monday Night Raw set with the Elimination Chamber LED and, you know, freaking effects on the screen, and it's pretty lame. I wish they would fix that so you can, you know, put the chamber in whatever arena you want. I might make a separate video on a couple of things that I want for 2K20, because they made a lot of good corrections this year, but there's still a few things that are lacking, and it's really affecting the longevity of playability on these games. Because I don't really play the game as much as I'd like to, because it's not much going on. You know, the story mode, I thought this year was actually pretty good. The Daniel Bryan story was cool, but the universe mode is still lacking so much. I wish they would just bring back general manager mode, but that's going to be for another video. I just wanted to get that out of the way because I went out of my way to make that freaking arena for a little bit. I don't remember how long it took me, but it was kind of annoying that you go and make it, and then they don't even allow you to use it. Anyway, getting into this preview and predictions. Like I said, I did watch Raw and SmackDown this week. Raw was pretty trash, except for the ending. A lot of people didn't like the ending with the whole Becky Lynch getting kicked out of the main event, but Vince coming out and naming Charlotte as her replacement. I personally loved it. Not that I want to see Becky out, but it's just, you know, this is exactly how people look at Charlotte anyway. They look at her as, you know, the fucking hand-chosen, you know, the Roman Reigns of the female division. So, the fact that they're kind of playing into that right now is going to make for a good storyline, and now we're just kind of on the road to how Becky's going to get back in, and whether or not it's actually going to be a triple threat match, or if somehow Charlotte's going to get kicked out. I doubt it's probably going to be a triple threat match, so I'm on the ride to see how we get there. I'm actually enjoying it, so we'll see where it goes. As far as this pay-per-view goes, we have a kickoff match for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship between Buddy Murphy and Akira Tozawa. And I don't understand why Triple H does some pretty good things with 205 Live, making it, pretty enjoyable compared to what it was. And they're just immediately pushed back to the kickoff show. So you're going to tell me that people would rather see Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin, which, by the way, is now a no disqualification match because Braun Strowman is just, he can't handle a one-on-one regular match because he's not that good in the ring, and neither really is Baron Corbin. So, of course, they had to add a no disqualification stipulation of that to protect them from showing them just how bad they are in the ring. We'll get into that match when we get there, but this kickoff match deserves to be on the main card. As far as who's going to win, I mean, I don't see Buddy Murphy losing. I think Akira Tozawa won a Fatal 4-Way match on 205 Live to become #1 contender. I don't mind Akira Tozawa, but I don't think Buddy Murphy is dropping it right now because right now he's the best in that division and on that show. So as far as the kickoff goes, I see Buddy Murphy defeating Akira Tozawa to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. I just really wish that it was on the main card instead of on the pre-show because no matter what the Road Dogg says, the pre-show and the main show are not the same thing. Half the time for the pre-show, you'll be lucky if there's a quarter of the arena filled. So it is what it is, man. As far as the main card goes, we're going to start off with the no disqualification match between Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin. I don't care about this match at all. I really don't. I don't know who would. I'm not really into either one of these guys right now. Braun Strowman's been... He went downhill ever since he lost to Brock Lesnar the first time. Back at, No Mercy in 2017 or whatever. He just really hasn't been the same since. And then they had him turn heel against Roman. And I really lost interest in the guy. I just don't care. Can they get me to be intrigued by him again? Yeah, but it's going to take a while. And a feud with Baron Corbin is not going to get me there. Nor is it going to get most of the people there. Is he still over? Yeah, he's still over with some of the crowd. But in the long run, who cares? As far as Baron Corbin... he's got to stop wearing that stupid Ruby Tuesdays, TGIF type waiter outfit, man. Go back to his old attire, because it's hard to take a man serious when he's wrestling in that. As far as who's gonna win, I mean Braun Strowman. I mean, do you really see Baron Corbin beating Braun Strowman? I mean, unless there's a fuck finish, which there probably will be some kind of fucking screwiness going on in the match. That's why it's no disqualification. But I don't see Braun Strowman losing this match. Nor do I really think he can afford to lose this match if you want to try and start building him back up for possible future title matches. Let's see, what do we got next here? We got the Intercontinental Championship match, handicap match, between Finn Balor taking on Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush. I don't understand this 2-on-1 bullshit for a singles title. I'm not really into it. Bobby Lashley is awful. As some people like to call him, Bobby Trashley, and I mean for good reason. The dude he's so boring, dude. He doesn't do it for me. I don't know who's a fan of him. I never was a fan of Lashley. I wasn't a fan of him when he was in the WWE CW thing that they had going on back in like 07, 08. Wasn't into that. Wasn't into him then. Didn't really care about him in TNA, and definitely don't care about him now. And as far as Lio Rush, I don't understand why he's in the match. This is pretty lame. As far as Finn Balor, I mean, I don't really care that much about Finn Balor right now. Another guy that they've kind of ruined. He's always coming out smiling and doing a whole lot of nothing. What has he done since he had to relinquish the Universal title all the way back in fucking 2016? He's done like nothing of importance, nothing for people to care. He's only come out as a demon like maybe 3 times since then, and I just don't care. As far as who's gonna win, honestly, I'm gonna say Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush are gonna take it. I don't see Finn Balor winning just yet. I do see him winning the Intercontinental title, and I hope he does, because it would be a lot better on him than it is on Bobby Lashley. And for God's sakes, Finn Balor, he needs something to make him relevant again. I mean, putting the Intercontinental title on him won't just get him there alone, but it'll be a start. Because right now, he is just falling flat, and I just don't care about either one of these guys. I do like Finn Balor, though, but he's just not doing anything right now of importance that's going to get me to care about him or anything he's doing. And I don't see him winning this match. If he did win this match, I would not be upset. I just don't see him winning yet. Maybe he'll win at Fastlane, and take the title into WrestleMania, and they'll probably have their standard 6-way, 8-way Intercontinental title ladder match or whatever. Or maybe he'll win it at WrestleMania. I don't know, but he'll win it either by or at WrestleMania. I don't see him winning it tomorrow night. So Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush probably going to take the victory over Finn Balor. Next up, we got the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between The Miz and Shane McMahon taking on the Usos. And yes, I know that Jimmy Uso was recently involved in some kind of traffic stop where the cop smelled alcohol in the car, and he was with his wife Naomi, and then he got confrontational with the cop, and he was about to get arrested, or he did, or whatever happened. I didn't read the whole story. I just read a few clips of it. But really, he fucked up, but other guys have done similar shit, and they don't always get punished. And right now, the Usos are just too good in the tag team division to be severely punished right now. The Miz and Shane McMahon, look, I'm not feeling them as tag team champions. They're not a real tag team. They're not the best tag team by far, and they need to drop the titles to the Usos, because I don't want to see the Miz and Shane McMahon going into WrestleMania as tag team champions. I do see the Miz and Shane McMahon losing this match. Even with the whole incident with Jimmy Uso, I do see the Usos winning this match and taking the titles into WrestleMania, because if you want a good tag team title match at WrestleMania, it has to involve the Usos over the Miz and Shane McMahon. I see the Miz and Shane McMahon breaking up either tomorrow night, or maybe the SmackDown after, or maybe even at Fastlane, and then probably leading into a Miz and Shane McMahon feud for WrestleMania. I don't want to see it. I don't really care to see the Miz versus Shane McMahon. Kind of over it. Shane McMahon doesn't need a match at every single WrestleMania, but I'm sure that that's probably what we're going to get. But yeah, I see the Usos going over Miz and Shane McMahon and becoming, 6-time tag team champions. I just kind of wish, and it's been said before by other podcasters, one guy that I listen to, someone I actually consider a friend, JD, I'm sure if you listen to me, you've probably heard of him, but he made a reference that the tag team division should be merged together, and I've personally been saying it in my own head that, yeah, that should have been the way it was ever since the draft was conceived, because there's just not enough tag teams on the main roster, that, especially ones that we care about, to fill out two separate divisions and have two separate titles. Not only do the titles look ridiculous, but they are worth even less. They look so cheap, and they look exactly how they feel, unimportant and cheap. I mean, it's nice that the Revival won the tag team titles on Raw, and there's rumors that they're bringing back the old WWF tag titles from the ones that were there from the late 80s until the early 2000s, when they finally changed them, when they had the first original draft and they had the World Tag Team titles and the WWE Tag Team titles on SmackDown. So I would love to see those titles come back. Those titles are absolutely gorgeous. They actually look prestigious, and they look way better than what we got now. And I hope that they do merge the divisions together, because how many times can we see the same fucking matches? The Usos versus the Bar, the Usos versus the New Day versus the Bar. I mean, come on, man. And there's no other teams on SmackDown. I mean, you got Gallows. Where the fuck have they been? They're just sitting in the back, just collecting a paycheck, probably hanging out with Xavier Woods on his YouTube channel, up, down, down, and having some catering food in the back. That's all they do. They never do anything of importance. When's the last time they even had a title match? And then as far as Raw, don't even get me started. There's nothing on Raw. The Revival, and that's it. So hopefully they merge the the tag team titles together. Maybe they do it at WrestleMania. I heard there was rumors that the draft was going to end because of the whole Fox deal that comes in October, and they want Ronda Rousey on SmackDown. And you know WWE's not going to have Ronda Rousey exclusive to SmackDown. That's just not going to happen. They can't let their precious baby of Monday Night Raw be without, one of the top drawing female superstars they have. So I do see possibly the draft ending, and I hope it does, because honestly, these divisions, the women's division and the SmackDown or the tag team division is just, they at the very least need to be merged together. If you want to keep separate world titles for each brand, that's fine. And the same thing for the mid-card titles, because there is enough for, a mid-card division. But hopefully if they merge these two divisions together, and we can finally get some real tag team competition and some women's competition, because I'm tired of seeing two separate divisions for both of them. So I do see the Usos going over Miz and Shane and becoming, again, like I said, the 6th time, I believe, tag team champions. So, moving on. We got the Raw Women's Championship match between Ronda Rousey and Ruby Riott. What is there really much to say about this match? If you think Ruby Riott's going to win, you're an idiot. There's nothing else to say about it. I mean, I can understand you wanting her to win, but to think she's actually going to win is just ludicrous. Like they're not going to throw you a curveball. Like, that would just be so stupid for Ronda Rousey to have her first loss right now to Ruby Riott. I heard a couple people saying, well, they're going to, try and swerve you, and they're going to have Ruby Riott win and then maybe drop it back to Ronda Rousey at Fastlane. No, that's not going to happen. Ronda Rousey's going over. Armbar, tap out. I'm sure it'll be a good match, because Ruby Riott is she's good at what she does, and I'm sure she'll bring Ronda to a good match, and it'll be a fun one to watch. But there's no way Ronda Rousey's losing this match with the whole hype with the Charlotte and the Becky thing. That's just not happening. So Ronda Rousey going over, and we are moving on away from that match. Okay, what do we got next? Next we got the women's Elimination Chamber match to crown the first ever WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Now, see, this is where they fuck up again, because this is not the first ever Women's Tag Team Champions. Remember the first ever WWE, but back in the day they used to have WWF Women's Tag Team Champions. I can't remember who was the champions. I have to look it up right now. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But we got the teams of Sasha Banks and Bayley versus the Iconics versus Nia Jax and Tamina versus Carmella and Naomi versus Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, and then versus Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Now, see, the problem I have with this match is 3 of these teams being all the one. Who the hell's texting me? Being all the ones on SmackDown did not qualify for this match, which makes no sense, and just apparently were able to just throw themselves into the match for whatever reason. So I'm really not looking forward to this match. They've kind of watered it down with this whole Elimination Chamber thing. You don't have to put the women in an Elimination Chamber match just to have it happen. It should have been some kind of tournament where, we're crowning, the first for now, or however you want to say it, but crowning tag team champions in just a regular 2-on-2 tag team match after a tournament. And if I had to choose, it would be Sasha Banks and Bayley, probably versus I don't even know who I would have the other team be. Either the Iconics maybe, or Nia Jax and Tamina, just because Nia Jax has, a lot of heat on her from the crowd, so it would make for an interesting match. But as far as this match goes, I want Sasha Banks and Bayley to win it. I don't know if I see them actually winning it. The only other teams that I can see winning it, I don't see Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. They're definitely not winning it. Carmella and Naomi, no way in hell. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, they could be a dark horse, just because they have been getting some exposure on TV lately with Mandy Rose and the whole Naomi storyline, and they had some kind of Shawn Michaels tribute where Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose were involved in it. And if they looked like they would have fit right in with Shawn Michaels back in the day when they did that whole photo shoot that I seen on Facebook. And then Nia Jax and Tamina, I mean, knowing WWE, they probably would have them win just to piss people off. And then the Iconics, I mean, they haven't really done anything since coming up to the main roster. I mean, this could be a way, for people to maybe take them more serious or for them to be somewhat relevant. But I mean, the damage is done with them. Does anybody care about the Iconics? I really don't. They're kind of annoying. As far as who I actually do see winning this, I do see Sasha Banks and Bayley winning, but at the same time, one of those other teams that I mentioned I could definitely see winning, whether it be Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose or Nia Jax and Tamina. I hope it's Sasha Banks and Bayley, just so we can see some kind of build up maybe for a match or a showdown at WrestleMania between them and Trish and Lita. I think that would be fantastic, and the fans would be into that. I would like to see it, but will we see it? I don't know, but only time will tell. But if I had to choose one, I'm going to go with Sasha Banks and Bayley being crowned the women's tag team champions. Moving on to the main event, we got the new Daniel Bryan. I really don't like that. Just call him Daniel Bryan, the new Daniel Bryan, and then the real AJ Styles. So stupid. So you got Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy versus Kofi versus Randy, and then versus Samoa Joe. Kofi Kingston had that nice showing on SmackDown in the Gauntlet match. A lot of people were thinking he's going to win the title because of that, but at the same time, you have to realize that what he did on SmackDown, I can almost guarantee you was exactly what they were going to do if it was Mustafa Ali, in that situation. And they pretty much just said, "Fuck it, he's out, so let's give it to Kofi and let's have him do it." And it was just they just copy and pasted, And but I mean, it was nice to see. I mean, if Kofi won this match, I would not be upset. Back in the day, back when he had his feud with Orton, I thought Kofi could easily be a WWE champion, Do I see him winning this match? I don't, but at the same time, it's definitely possible. There's nobody really in this match that I can't see possibly winning, except for maybe Jeff Hardy, but there is a story there, like a feel-good story of Hardy, coming back and finally winning the title back. Randy Orton's always a threat. He could always win again. Samoa Joe, with what he's been doing lately, his promos and just his intensity and everything, I mean, how he's not been WWE champion yet is fucking mind-baffling. The guy should have been WWE champion at least twice already. And then you got AJ Styles. AJ Styles I actually don't see winning this match. Just because he's been the champion for so long. Not that I'm over it, because I'm a huge AJ Styles fan, but, it's not time for him to win it back yet. And then you got Daniel Bryan, who is honestly my pick to win this. Daniel Bryan is definitely I definitely see him winning this match. And for a dark horse, if I had to choose, I would go with Kofi Kingston. Just because, it would be a nice gift to him for being there for so long and staying relevant as long as he has. And then, if anything, I don't see him going into WrestleMania with it. Even if he did win it, he'd probably drop it to Daniel Bryan either on SmackDown or at Fastlane. But I would not be upset if Kofi won this match. I wouldn't be upset with anybody winning this match, honestly. Styles would be the only one that would be like, we've kind of seen it a bunch already. Not that it would be bad, AJ Styles going into WrestleMania. He's one of the best performers they got. But like I said, there's nobody in this match that would win, and it would piss me off. So I'm kind of just here for the ride to see how it goes. It should be a great match. I can see Kofi Kingston definitely having some crazy spots in here, since I said in a video in the past that I thought Mustafa Ali was going to have a couple of high spots in this match. So obviously Kofi Kingston's replacing him, and they're probably going to give those spots to Kofi. So I do see him doing some crazy shit in this match. But it should be a fantastic match. It's really the only match that I'm looking forward to on this pay-per-view. I didn't even realize that there was a pay-per-view coming this Sunday until, what was it, just yesterday? Or yeah, like Friday yesterday, Friday. I was on Facebook and I seen the clip for the Elimination Chamber on Sunday. I was like, Jesus, I forgot there was even a pay-per-view this Sunday. So that just goes to show you how unimportant and how much I personally don't care about this match at all. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up. That's the whole pay-per-view. Like I said, it's kind of a throwaway pay-per-view. Not much going on. I do like the Elimination Chamber. And I am looking forward to that match, but the pay-per-view as a whole, I don't really give two shits about. I mean, nothing on this nothing on this card, you know, gets me excited at all. I mean, honestly, just look up and down this card, dude. It's pretty fucking boring. It's like a typical Monday Night Raw. This boring and unexciting, aside from the main event. So we'll see what happens. I'll be covering the pay-per-view, and I'll definitely be doing a review of the Elimination Chamber. I just hope it's not one of those pay-per-views that goes like 5 hours long, like they've been doing. I mean, this pay-per-view barely deserves fucking 3 hours, which is I wish is what the pay-per-view standard would be. It should never go over 3 hours unless it's WrestleMania, and WrestleMania should only be like 4 hours. You know, who the hell wants to sit there for 7 hours? Nobody. But like I said, that's gonna wrap it up, guys. We'll see what happens. And you know, if you want, leave your predictions in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win these matches? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think I'm an asshole? Let me know. I'm getting out of here. I'll talk to you guys later.